to the next.
Yep.
Thank you. We are here tonight to learn more about the kindergarten application process and hopefully support you as you look for a kindergarten program for your child. We know this is an extremely important decision. And we're happy that you're spending some time with us and hope we can provide you with next steps. One of the first things we want to go over is District 1 is a little bit unique in the enrollment process because District 1 is a district of choice. And so you don't necessarily go to the school that's closest to your house. You can go to the school that's closest to your house, but you can choose from any one of our 15 schools that have kindergarten programs. So we will speak a little bit more about that. But the first thing we're going to do is I'm going to start out with Pui Lam, who's going to tell us about kindergarten enrollment in District 1.
Hi, everyone, and thank you for having me tonight. Welcome. My name is Pui Lam. I'm one of the enrollment counselor at the Family Welcome Center in District 1 Family Resource Center office. You could go to the next slide. And then, yes, tonight we will be covering who can apply for kindergarten GNT program and how to get started, how to explore elementary school GNT program, how to create a My School account, how to apply and add your child to waitlist, and how to view and accept your child offer. Next slide. So, who can apply for kindergarten GNT programs? If your child was born in 2019 between January 1st and December 31st and lived within 5 boroughs in New York City, the same year they turn 5, whether it's their first time or they currently attending a pre-K program, then the family are eligible to participate kindergarten GNT admission process, and they are guaranteed to have a seat. So what is GNT program? GNT program stands for Gifted and Talented. GNT program offer accelerated instruction to eligible elementary school students. You must be eligible to be considered for this program. If you are interested in GNT program, you may list them on your kindergarten application along with other non-GNT program in your true preference order. If you list at least one GNT program as a choice on your kindergarten application, your child will be screened for eligibility. Students will be considered for eligibility based on behaviors that may indicate readiness for accelerated learning. For current pre-K student at DOE District School, Pre-K Center, NICE, or Charter School, we will be evaluated by their current pre-K teachers. For current pre-K student at private or parochial school program, interview will be taking place and nominate eligible applicants. In this slide, I will be sharing for fall 2024 admission timeline. Here are some important dates. If you have your phone ready, please mark these dates on your phone. On Tuesday, December 5th, 2023, kindergarten GNT application opened. On Friday, January 19, 2024, kindergarten GNT application closed. On Wednesday, March 27, 2024,
Poogie, I think you're frozen. For me, is it just me or she's frozen? Okay, while we give her a second to get back on, I just do want to clarify. I know we have the slash between the kindergarten and the gifted and talented programs. This is about all kindergarten programs in our district, an application for all kindergarten programs, inclusive of GNT options. You were frozen, but now you are back, I think.
Okay, my apologize. Probably my network is not the best. Okay. So I was trying to talk about the timeline. So here are the timeline, and if you have your phone ready, please mark these time. All kindergarten applicants who apply by the deadline will receive an offer later in spring 2024. This offer may be a GNT program or another kindergarten program. If any families who missed the deadline, don't worry, they will be able to participate the kindergarten application by adding their child to waitlist. Usually waitlists are available right after kindergarten offer release. This will continue open until fall 2024. Next slide. Sorry. So how to get started? You can start exploring elementary school GNT program at any time of the year at myschool.nyc. You can look up the same information by entering your home address at schools.nyc.gov/find-a-school or by calling 311. When kindergarten GNT application open, by using your My School personalized account, you can build and submit your child kindergarten GNT application with a single application through myschool.nyc once you set up and sign in. Next slide. So here are some things to be considered. Location, schedule, and admission priorities are important. Ask yourself, how far is the school from your home? Does the school offer extended hours such as early drop-off and after-school program, etc.? Does your child has a priority to attend the school? You will be able to apply up to 12 different kindergarten GNT program of your true preference order. For example, your most wanted school should be in choice 1 and so on. By adding more choices, increase your chances of getting an offer to a program on your application. If you list GNT program on your application, eligibility will be determined after you apply. Next slide. Admission priorities are important factors in how children get kindergarten offer. Sometimes there are more applicants to kindergarten program than there are more seats available at that program. When this happens, kindergarten program use admission priority method to admit some group of applicants before others. For instance, all applicants in the first priority group will get offered before any applicants in the second priority group and so on. Next slide. There are several types of admission priorities. The higher priorities group your child is in for a specific school, the better chance they will receive an offer to that school. Type of school for your child kindergarten application. Zone school. Non-zone school, also known as choice or open district. For example, only 3 districts are considered as non-zone school district, and they are District 1, District 7, and District 23. Next slide. In the next 2 slides, I will be explaining the type of admission priorities. Zone priority is the applicants who live in that zone in this specific area around the school. Schools that do not have zone or call non-zone school. Next slide. And for non-zone school, these are the, can you go back? I'm sorry. And for the non-zone school priority, these are the priority that you can focus on. Sibling priority. If a child who has a sibling who attend Pacific school, they have the sibling priority. Pre-K priorities. If the child is currently attending Pacific school in the pre-K program, they have the pre-K priority. District priority, for example, if a family who live in District 1, they have the priority for the district. And some schools also have diversity priority and admission priorities, which give priority to a certain percentage of kindergarten seat based on family income, home language, and other factors. Next slide. So how to apply? We will be watching a short video on how to create a My School personalized account. There are 2 more videos on how to apply your child to waitlist, view and accept your child offer. The video link will share at the end of the presentation. Christine, can you click on the first link and we will be watching the video. Thank you and enjoy.
Actually, Puyi, it's not allowing me to click.
Okay.
Are you able to share your screen and show the video?
Give me a second. Let me see if I can.
Christina stopped sharing so she could share.
Oh, I love it. We got a full house. Puyi, if you need help, just let me know.
Okay, I'm trying to pull the video. Give me 1 second.
Or if you want me to talk about the district options and then we can go back to the video, also let me know.
Okay. Can you guys?
No.
No. Okay, I'm sorry.
I also can't copy the link that's in the chat. It's coming up differently. Not sure why.
Yeah, I apologize. I'm using my phone, so that's probably not allowing me to share the screen.
Okay, so Christina, how about I go through the District 1 options and then we'll play the video at the end before we do a Q&A. Does that work?
And I'll try to, yes, and I'll try to find it myself.
Okay, great.
Am I sharing the slide again?
Can you bring us to slide 18?
Yes.
Okay, and you have to share your screen.
Yes, I'm just trying to find the slide. That's why. Just give me a second. Oh. Can you view it? What slide? I'm sorry.
I can see it. Slide 18.
What slide is this?
That's not slide 18 for me. It's the slide that says welcome to District 1, Lower East Side, has the trains on it.
Yep.
That's it. There we go. So District 1 is located on the Lower East Side of Manhattan. We include the East Village, we include a little bit of Chinatown, and some other neighborhoods below 14th Street. We are accessible by the J, Z, and L trains and a number of buses. We do mention this because as a district of choice, we have a little over half of our students who actually reside in District 1, and we also receive a number of students in our schools who reside in other districts. The Lower East Side is really a beautiful neighborhood. We have a lot of historic partnerships with our settlement houses. So Henry Street Settlement, University Settlement, Grand Street Settlement. All of these spaces have a long history in the neighborhood and provide supports to our schools, whether it's through after-school programs or wellness supports for our students and our families. We are also home to the Lower East Side Girls Club. We are home to the Tenement Museum, which we have a strong partnership with. The photo you see here is of students who were in a poetry slam in one of our community gardens, and that was those were students from across schools. In that sort of stretch of 12th Street, where we have 3 of our schools that we're going to talk about in just a minute. So a really great neighborhood, and we do have many options for kindergarten across our district. Next slide, Christina. So we want to share where our kindergarten programs live, and we talk about we know this is important because we know many of our kindergarten students have siblings. And so maybe you are looking for a school that spans more grades so that siblings can go to the same school. So we have kindergarten programs in our 3K to 5 schools. And those are PS 142. Which is located on Attorney Street, Star Academy, which is located on 3rd Street or 4th Street. I think there's an entrance on both sides. Have PS 64, which is located in the same space as the Earth School, which you'll see right across. We have PS 19 East Village Community School, which is on 12th Street and 1st Avenue. We have the Children's Workshop School. And my apologies, Christina, I don't want to get it wrong. Which is the school with the 2 pencils? Up below Star Academy and up from PS 64. Oh, no, go back. It's fine. We'll figure it out. I can't figure out whose logo it is, but soon I can do process of elimination. On the other side here, we have our pre-K to 5 programs, which are the neighborhood school, which is co-located with PS 63 Star Academy. Again,
134, Christine.
It is 134. I thought it was 134. Okay, 134 located on East Broadway. Its neighbor is a pre-K to 5 program, PS 110. As I said, the Earth School is a pre-K to 5 program that is co-located with PS 64 on 6th Street and B. And then we have PS 20, which is where the district team lives here, 166 6th Street. So those are some of our elementary programs. And then we have kindergarten programs that are housed in 3K to 8 schools. So we have PS 140 located on Ridge Street, PS 184, which is our southernmost school located on Cherry Street. We have the Island School, PS 188, that is located on East Houston. And we have PS 34, PSMS 34, which is our northernmost school on 12th Street and Avenue D. So those are the places where we have kindergarten programs. And again, as a district of choice, you can apply to any of those programs or almost all of them as your, you can put 12 choices down and we have 15 programs. Christina, next slide. So as Puyi mentioned, there are some special program options. So a few of our schools do offer gifted and talented kindergarten programs. Gifted and talented kindergarten programs are at PS 15 and PS 110. So PS 15, I'm losing all my streets here. PS 15 is East 4th and D. I think that's right. And PS 110 is on Delancey, all the way down near the bridge. So those are two of our gifted and talented options. We also have dual language programs for kindergarten. Again, here at PS 20, 166 Essex Street, we have Spanish and Mandarin dual language programs. And at 184, the Shuang Wen School, again on Cherry Street, we have a dual language Mandarin program available. Next slide, Christina. Nope. That's the one. Puyi mentioned the importance of not only thinking about location. Location is important. Can I get my child to school on time every day? Is the school easy to get to? Do I have someone nearby, maybe if I'm at work, who can pick up my child? So certainly location is important, but we know that many of our families work and after school options are also important. To learn about the specific options for our for each school's after school program, we recommend speaking to the school directly. But this slide has some of our partners who offer after school programming across our schools. And so, like I said, we have University Settlement, Henry Street Settlement, Grand Street Settlement. They are very present and are wonderful partners in all of our schools. We have Happy Healthy Kids in our schools, which is, I believe, a sliding scale payment program. We have the 14th Street Y, which I believe is a pickup program. We have Green Apple Kids, that's at PS 19 EVCS. We have the Educational Alliance, and we have a program called Steady Buckets, which is, I believe, also at PS 19 EVCS exclusively right now. But those are some of the after-school programs that are across our district. We do have other programs. Again, some are free. Most of our programs through our settlement houses are free programs. Other programs are typically a sliding scale, and some of our schools do offer school-based after-school programming. Angelica, can you put the link to the D1 website in the chat? I would recommend, so our schools are having tours as we speak. They've started having tours a little bit before the kindergarten application open. They'll continue to have tours. You can, if you go on the District 1 website, you can find the link to all of our school websites, and on all of the school websites, you will see access to their tour information. And so you can learn about schools individually. Christina and Angelica are also doing walking tours the second week in January. That's, I know, a little bit before the kindergarten application period closes, but it's also when the pre-K and 3K open. So they'll be taking families on a walking tour across our schools to visit 3K, pre-K, and kindergarten. And that'll be another opportunity to learn about our schools. So I see a question in the chat. We are doing the walking tours in all of the schools. Unfortunately, we can't do all of the schools in one day. Angelica, I don't know if you have the schedule on you right now in a way that you can click in. So it's going to be January 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th. And we have about 3 or 4 schools each day. And we will be sending out a flyer just once all the schools have confirmed with us. About half of them are. So Alina, I will ask, are you currently a parent in our school? And if you want to unmute to let me know if you are, because if you are currently a parent in our school,
No, I am not.
Okay.
She will be in kindergarten. She's currently at Henry Street. I've done a number of tours already,
Okay.
but some schools that it seems no longer have them, like the Nest School no longer is doing walking tours.
Oh, so Nest is actually not part of our geographic district because it's a citywide gifted and talented. And so we won't be visiting Nest. But if you want to be emailed with our walking tours, you can message Angelica in the chat with your email, and we'll make sure that you get it.
Great, I'll message them.
I also added my email to the chat. If anyone else wants to copy it, feel free. You can email me and ask. I'll email you the flyers when they're done.
Thank you so much. And right now I'm going to pass it over to Wilson Lamb, who I mentioned is our early childhood administrator. And he is going to speak to us a little bit about the kindergarten experience in D1 and what that looks like. You might have heard that each district is part of New York City Reads and Chancellor's Initiative. Each district will share a common curriculum. And District 1 has chosen expeditionary learning. So all students across our kindergartens next year, expeditionary learning will be their reading curriculum, but that's only part of their school day. And so Wilson's going to speak to us more about that. Christina, can you go to the next slide?
Thank you, Christina. And thank you, Christine, for the introductions. Before I go ahead, I just want to mention that I want to emphasize, actually, the application for kindergarten is not automatic. Every student in pre-K right now must apply for kindergarten, okay? For those who are already in a district pre-K program, you still have to apply, okay, for a seat in kindergarten or kindergarten GNT. All right, so hello again, my name is Wilson Lamb. I am the Early Childhood Education Administrator, and I work with the Division of Early Childhood down in Central. And as Christine mentioned, I support District 1, very closely, actually. So welcome. Thank you for taking some time to learn about the kindergarten application process. I'm actually very excited to talk about kindergarten because as a teacher, I taught kindergarten for many, many years, and I have to admit, kindergarten is one of my favorite grades, just because you see the transformation so rapidly in front of you. You know, they come in like a pre-K student, and then by the time they leave you, they're like grown-ups. It's shocking. So it's definitely one of my favorite grades, and I'm happy to talk about it. Okay, so first and foremost, kindergarten teachers recognize how stressful this transition to kindergarten can be, right? Not only stressful for the students, but also stressful for the parents and caregivers, right? So the kindergarten teacher will make it very smooth, to make the transition very easy, because when students arrive to kindergarten, they will the students and the parents and caregivers will notice that there are a lot of similarities in kindergarten, as compared to pre-K. For example, both pre-K and kindergarten, they have morning meetings. There will be small groups in kindergarten. There will be a lot of family and school events where parents can come in and interact with the teaching and learning that's happening every day, right? And of course, there are always learning centers around the kindergarten room. So all of those things are very familiar, and it's connected to the pre-K that they will be coming from, okay? So I know it's tough, and some of you might be coming from a CBO and going to a district school for the first time. It's a brand new building, etc., etc. But we promise you the transition will be smooth and we will be there with you, okay? And like I said, kindergarten is very special to me, and that's where children start to learn to read, right? It's they start to learn the alphabet, they learn to listen to sounds, so like our deputy superintendent mentioned, District 1 is part of the literacy initiative in across the city, where we have a common literacy program, and one of the things the students will notice is that they will be engaged in high quality phonics programs and a high quality phonemic awareness program. Okay, those are the foundational pieces to build a amazing reader. Those successful readers, you have to have those phonics and phonemic awareness, honed in and developed before they go to the next grade, when they actually learn to read more complex stories and texts, etc. Right? So you will notice that when you send your child to kindergarten. And as mentioned earlier, EL, expeditionary learning, is the English language program curriculum that all of District 1 will be using. It's a very, very nice program. It is a research-backed curriculum, right? And what I love about it is that EL, I always have tongue tie, I'm sorry. Let me just call it EL for now, right? Research-based, right? It's designed with students in mind and focuses on topics that students love and are naturally curious about, such as like toys and play, weather, and trees, right? I'll be able to pronounce that word later on, I promise. And when it comes to mathematics, students will notice that math is not confined to only math time of the day, right? Students will experience math throughout the day. Opportunities in math talk happens from morning meeting times all the way to end of the day closing circle times. At D1, we truly believe in the whole child approach to teaching and learning. So you will notice that reading, writing, math, science, social studies, social emotional learning, and the arts are all integrated and connected into a daily schedule. So I hope I sold some kindergarten seats to all of you. And I'm excited to answer any questions that you may have later on. Thank you.
Thank you, Wilson. And we're excited. We just actually last week we did a shared art event for our families of our K-2 students that focused on the things that Wilson spoke about: weather, birds, trees, and I guess toys, because kids created some things that were definitely toy-like. So there is a piece to there. I do have I have the My Schools video pulled up. Do I need to share it before we go to Q&A? I'll share my screen. Okay. You can see my screen. Great. Can you hear it?
No hearing.
So Christine, stop sharing your screen for a second and then reshare. When you press the share button, there's a little box that says share sounds too. That's
I knew that was going to happen.
If you want me to share it, just drop the link to the chat and I'll try it.
It's in there. Wilson is there.
I'm just having an issue pulling the full screen back up.
Can you stop sharing, Christine, so that we can?
I can't. My screen is not pulling back up. I think I am going to. How about you stop me from being co-host?
Okay.
Or kick me out. Sorry.
I'm trying. Let's see. View options. Okay, there
Oh,
we go.
there we go.
All right, do you want me to share my the video then?
Yes, go ahead. If you can't do it, I'll try next.
No, I should be able to do that. Hold on, give me one moment while I calibrate this. Okay. Oh, okay, hold on. It's asking for a password for the video. See my screen? Yes? Okay, great. Here we go.
Welcome. You're watching the New York City Elementary Admissions video series. In this video, we'll help you get started by showing you where to learn about schools and recommending a few important factors to consider as you explore. In this video, we'll be creating your personalized MySchools account. You may already be using the public version of MySchools to explore your child's school or program options. Once the application opens, you can log into your MySchools account to save programs of interest, build your application, and apply. Let's create your MySchools account. Go to myschools.nyc, click on Get Started, and follow the on-screen instructions. Then check your email for a message from MySchools. In that email, you will see a link to access your MySchools account. Please click on it to confirm. This link will take you to another screen where you can finish creating your profile. Now that you're in your MySchools account, the next step is to add your child to it. From the dashboard, click Add a Child. On the next screen, select the Everyone Else option and click Next. If your child is already enrolled in a DOE program and has a 9-digit student ID number, also known as an OSIS number, you will have the option to enter it here. If you don't have or know your child's student ID number yet, don't worry, you can still add your child to your account. The next screen will confirm that your child has been added. Click Go to Dashboard. You'll now see your child listed here whenever you log in. If you haven't already reviewed your child's profile information, you'll be prompted to do so at this time. Click on Edit Profile in the upper right corner of the box with your child's name. Then scroll to review your child's information. If everything is correct, click Submit. If anything looks incorrect, make changes. Once your child's information is correct, you're all set. What you do next depends on whether the application is open yet or not. If the application is not yet open, you can still explore programs in the public version of MySchools. To do this, just return to the MySchools homepage. Scroll down until you reach the blue browser school directory box and click Start Browsing. If the application is open, you will be able to log in to access a personalized version of this directory in your child's application from your dashboard. This personalized experience allows you to save your favorite programs, add programs to your application, and submit it to apply. Please view our other MySchools tutorial videos to learn how to apply, get your results, and accept offers. And watch more videos in our elementary admission video series to learn how to participate in specific admission processes such as 3K, pre-K, and kindergarten.
Okay, so that is one link that will help you get started. Now we're going to go to some questions and answers. So I see one question in the chat. It's about gifted and talented programs, G&T programs. So yes, our in-district schools, PS 15 and PS 110 are district gifted and talented programs. And NEST is a citywide district and NEST is a citywide gifted and talented program. That will be available on your application. But it does not fall under our District 1 offices because it is a K-12. It falls under the high school superintendent. And yes, the dual language programs are offered at PS 20 and 184. Yes, those are all of our specialized program offerings. And then I see another question that I am not going to know the answer to, and then I am going to have to defer. Does ranking G&T schools higher on your application affect the chances of getting into a regular kindergarten program if you don't get into G&T? Student is already enrolled in a District 1 school that they like. Would that impact the chances? So I'm going to say what I think, Pui, and then maybe you can confirm. I don't think it's going to impact your chances of getting into another program, especially in a school that you're already attending, because in that school you would have the priority, you would have the in-school priority of continuing. Pui, does that sound right?
That's pretty much it. As I mentioned earlier, with the G&T, when after they apply, they will determine whether they are eligible for the G&T. So everything had to look up after they apply. And sometime in spring, when they release the result, family will be able to find out whether they get accepted or not. And it is, as I mentioned earlier, for people who are in the public school, charter school or NICE, they will to determine whether they are eligible for this program. Family, they will be asking their pre-K teachers versus the private parochial. Our DOE have to reach out to the school and then set up an interview and then nominate the child. Yes.
And if I'm not mistaken, I think all of our choice citywide has moved to sort of a blind ranking system. So where you place a school shouldn't necessarily impact your chances of getting into a lower. Wilson is shaking his head, so I know I'm right. So where you place your school on the application should not impact your choices. And so the next question is about school tours. And I see Angelica has responded. So a few options for school tours. One, we are putting the district website up on the in the chat. And so the district website will link you to the websites of all of our schools. I'm going to attempt to share my screen again. If that's okay, and forgive me if I mess things up because it seems to minimize this other screen. But if you can see my screen, oh, there we go. That's the box I need to get back. So if you can see my screen, you will see that we have some flyers up there. And so you can use the QR codes provided to sign up for tours that they are offering. If schools are no longer offering tours, you can call the school and ask to speak to their parent coordinator, who I'm sure would be happy to arrange a visit to the school. So as you see, the neighborhood school has tours running through January. They even have one still upcoming on Wednesday. PS 110 seems to have finished at least a first round. Children's Workshop has upcoming tours, and PS 19 EVCS has upcoming tours. If you go to the schools page and you'll link on the school directory. So here you will see all of our schools, and then you can click on the school's website. So this is PS15, and there you see, come in for a tour. You can schedule a tour directly with them. So most of the tours will be via the school website, but if you need any support, you can certainly reach out to the district office. Angelica, I know, has put her email in there. And you can reach out to the schools directly, and look how easy that worked to stop sharing my screen. It was just a matter of where my mouse was. So those are all the ways that you can schedule school tours. Any other questions? Alina?
So in visiting these schools, it seems there's a really big disparity between the after-school programs and places where it's free and places where it's, I mean, you say sliding scale, but like, who knows?
Mhm.
It's, and I'm actually specifically interested in progressive schools. I visited all of them and loved them all, but none of them have free after school. Every single one of the four, the after school is paid, and it just seems like, I guess,
Yes.
why is that?
So it's a district challenge. It's because most of our progressive schools do not qualify for Title I funding, and schools that don't qualify for Title I funding are then not typically provided free after-school programming. Again, the district has worked with some of our local council people to advocate for universal after-school, free after-school, because we know that that's a factor in decision-making and how families select schools. But that's essentially why the situation is the way it is. Our CBOs get grants to support Title I schools.
That's what I had thought. So, in just having visited PS 110, is that the one, what the GNT? Yes, PS 110, they said they only just got Title I this year, but they'd had free after school before. And then Shen Wen, PS 184, used to be Title I, but they never had free after school. So it's like, I had thought what you had said, but then I'm getting information that
So
suggests,
yeah, there are ways. So some of our schools, so Shuangwen has multiple after-school programs. They've had some after-school programs that are free and some after-school programs that are paid programs. And so they as long as I've been here, they've had a range of after-school options at their school. Some of our schools that are not Title I have had other opportunities through grants to apply for after-school partnerships, and they have secured those. You know, it's a little bit of a sustainability issue because the grants, even some of our grants with our Title I programs, all need to be renewed. And so they're short-term grants. They might be a 2-year grant, a 3-year grant. And then some of our schools also sometimes have to get a new after-school provider if the CBO is only approved for a certain number of grants. So we recognize the challenges in that as well. We have been able to support some of our schools with other external partnerships and private funding to offer a select number of free after-school seats in some of the programs. So there are things that we try to do to provide more options to students and families. I see another question in the chat. My understanding, this is that a family in D1 has, yes, so District 1 has priority over non-district families unless there is, right, another priority, which is typically already being in the school, because we have many students who reside outside of the district who would then, if they were in a pre-K program, for example, would have priority to continue. Yes. Yes. Happy, healthy kids is probably, from what I hear, one of our most expensive after school offerings. And there is also a bit of a challenge, I know, for our pre-K and 3K families, because our community-based organizations, they're not licensed to serve that grade level, and that becomes an issue where some families have to go to private funding. We're happy to work with families to try to find after-school options that are more affordable, and like I said, continue to really work to increase access to free after-school programming for all of our students.